So here's how I did my layout. The idea was that I divided the computer keyboard into two approximately 1.5 octave key sets. We have the top key set and the bottom key set. The bottom key set consists of two rows, the Z through question mark row, and what would be the A, but we don't really use that. We use the S through the semicolon row. The top key set consists of the two rows above that, so Q through right square bracket and the number row starting at 2, moving all the way up to the equal sign. How do those map out musically? Well, the Z corresponds to a musical C, and that extends to the right up an octave to another C, topping out at an E above that. That's for the bottom key set. Along with that are the associated sharp notes, which are located in the row above, starting at S, moving up to the semicolon. So you have C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, and so on, moving to the right. Top key set is laid out in much the same way. Starts out with a C, moving up another octave to a C, that's in the Q row, topping out at a G above that, and above that with the number row are the associated sharp notes. Then what I did was I created, out of a keyboard protector that you can get for approximately $5 on Amazon, a mapping that corresponds to a mini piano keyboard with these black notes corresponding to the black keys on a piano keyboard. Then I can take that, put it on my keyboard. Come on. There we go. And the result is I have a number of different notes and whatnot that I can play, and I've easily mapped out where the black keys are, making it much more intuitive and a very nice musical interface, so that you can know what notes you're actually playing. You may wonder, what if I hit an A or an F or an L, or a K, or any of these keys that aren't used? Well, I've accommodated for that in the code, so that if you hit any button that's not mapped to anything, it basically doesn't do anything. It doesn't affect the performance at all. It's as if it didn't even happen. Although it is noted within the code, it is read into Chuck, it just doesn't have any sort of reaction that matters to you as far as the performance is concerned. And I intentionally mapped this out so that all of the notes that we use musically are the same size key. So Z through question mark, for example, but I didn't use any of the shift keys because I wanted all of the musical notes to be the same sized key. So the same thing here, I started with a Q, moving all the way up to the right square bracket, intentionally ignoring the delete key, the tab keys, the caps lock, and so on. So I basically extended the code given to us from the Keanu shred that we got in class. So the nice thing is that my shred is also fully polyphonic. That means you can play chords. You can have beats between notes, which is really handy and much more musical. And this goes beyond what we had with our performance in our group with the penguins and such, where all of that was only monophonic, didn't have any kind of sort of features that enabled us to do anything of this sort. Now the coolest thing that I did was that I've made it so that each one of these key sets, the bottom and the top, can in real time, on the fly as you're playing, be customized as far as the octave range is concerned. So what does that mean? That means each one can be assigned its own octave range, starting from a low of C1 and extending to a high of C7, which is the same as a piano keyboard, having a total of 7 octaves. It extends a little bit more, I'll explain. So C1, depending on how you choose to lay it out, would be either the Z or the Q, and if you went up as high as C7, that would also be the Z or the Q. So if you assigned the top key set to be C7 at Q, then moving all the way to the right square bracket would actually be at a G8. So the highest note possible is a G8, lowest note possible, it would be a C1. And once again, you can do this all in real time while playing. Very, very handy. And in the next video, I'll tell you a little bit more about how I extended that capability in the code and give you a demonstration.